Hey, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on what part of the world you are in. This is Big Girl Diary. Okay, this one is going to be a little different than what I normally do. And the question is this fair? Okay. Now, this story is very complex, and we're going to have to unravel it, put things out, and then put it in order to see if it's fair or not. Because there's a lot of layers to this. And it touches at people's heartstrings because I know it touched at mine, and I, you know, do have a heart. On my other channel, people might not think so, but I do because that's politics. And you take the feeling out of politics and you just simply deal with facts. However, this one, um, I don't even know. Hmm. Well, let's just go ahead and take a look at it. All right, let's take a look at it. Immigrants who served in the U.S. military are being deported after facing legal issues. Now, one thing about the military is this they're very high on discipline, and they're also high on behavior. Now, if your behavior is unbecoming of an officer, then they're going to get rid of you. But how this guy right here, I don't even know how to even navigate through this because there's so much to it. Now, this guy right here, his name is Jose Segovia Benitez. Okay. And he was brought to the US from El Salvador when he was 3 years old. Now, that would right there was none that was just beyond his control. His parents or his parent brought him here to the US. So this is the only country that he knows, even though he wasn't born here. However, he's here. Now, now he saw combat in Iraq, and after 5 years of was honorably discharged. But when he came home in 2024, Segovia wasn't the same it wasn't the same guy. A brain injury left him depressed and angry, and he exhibited symptoms of PTSD, post traumatic. He displayed those symptoms. Now, this is my thought. If the military broke him, the military needs to fix him. Because when he went in as a, like, right? That's how he went in. And and most guys go in the military like gung ho, all right. Uh uh Team of two, all those shoot 'em up games. And I remember some years ago, oh my goodness, I think my son was about 16. And this was some years ago. And he was playing Call of Duty. That's how long ago this was. And his friend was 19 and they played online. Him and a group of Call of Duty warriors spread around the United States. And he said he was going into the military and he was going to go ahead and go fight because it's like the Call of Duty. That was his only reference, right? So, so he went in and we didn't hear from him for about a year. And then when he came back, he was playing and something wasn't right. So, my son was trying to talk to him. At that time, he was 17 and he didn't have any life experience to talk to him. So he's like, hey, mom, my friend really wants to talk. And so I talked to his friend and I had my son leave the room so that he could have privacy just to be able to express himself. Because I don't know, I don't think he was talking to anybody. I don't know if he had anybody to talk to or who he felt comfortable talking to. Because I told him my whole family went into the military. I said, me, I was a little dweeb. I would have been in a corner crying someplace. But he said to me that was so profound. Chris's mom, he said, it wasn't like the Call of Duty. He said, I actually shot at people. He said, I actually took people's lives. It was real. It wasn't a game. The Call of Duty is not what real life is, because she had an idea based on a game, but there in real life, bullets are coming at him as he's sending bullets towards other people. So it was like, oh my goodness. I'm like, I want to fall on the floor. I mean, I'm just sitting there. I have tears coming down my eyes, but I couldn't let him know that I felt so deeply for him. And I just was like, oh my goodness, this poor child. Because when he came back, he was 20. And facing life like that, having life go by real fast for you, and what you believe is true, and when you get there, it's not what you thought it would be. So he was no longer saying, all right, Call of Duty, all right, yeah, let's play Halo, or they used to say Galo. I'm like, all of that was gone. So with that information, just let that permeate on the bottom level. Just let it stay right there, okay? I'm not trying to tell you what to think, no. I'm just simply stating this is what normally occurs. So let's just leave it right there, okay? All right. This different version of Segovia also took to drinking, and he got into trouble with the law and served time for domestic DA, driving under influence, and other felony convictions. So he just had a hard time reintegrating. I mean, very hard. But he had two levels, okay? Even though he was here since he was 3, he still wasn't a citizen. Okay, let me take that back. Okay. He was a legal permanent resident. He also joined the Marines, and he began the naturalization process while on duty. His U.S. citizenship was never finalized, which is why when he was leaving prison in 2018, the U.S. combat veteran Segovia was on a radar for immigration or ICE to pick him up. Okay, really don't need to go any further. That's his parents that were very proud. And we could go on, but I'm not going to do that. That right there is him. Because it goes on and on. This right here is basically the information, what we basically need. His parents brought him here when he was 3. Let me get over here. Now, his parents brought him here when he was 3. He went into the Marines. He went to Iraq. He had PTSD, and he had looked like a brain injury. He just wasn't the same person, and he got a DV or DA, D abuse. But when you are an immigrant and you haven't finished getting your naturalization, right? And even if you are a naturalized citizen, don't think that that your citizenship cannot be taken away from you. See, because it can. They can revoke your naturalized citizen's status and kick you out, depending on what horrible thing you do, because you still have to abide by the rules and you still have to abide by being a good citizen. And by him being a veteran, he went into the military a good person, allegedly. He came out not the same person. So this is where it gets to be, is this fair? Because he fought and bled for this country. Most people don't. They're like, well, I'm going to go back home. I'm not going to do none of that thing. I'm going to go back. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. Right? But he did. And he's no longer that person. My thought is this. Well, they broke him. They need to fix him. Is it fair? And with that information, I'll leave that up to you. What are your thoughts? Please like, subscribe, and share.